Why are entrepreneurs lonely? To answer that question, I brought on today's guest, Vishnu Vardhan. He has influenced 400,000 people through writing online, and he has built a cult like following of over 1,000 entrepreneurs in just 6 months. You will learn how to open up about your past, how to tell your true, authentic story, the framework to attract like minded people into your life, why having strong opinions builds strong character, what to do to build a community around your business and your brand, where to find work that you genuinely fall in love with, it's so much more. I myself am in the middle of the lonely chapter and it sucks. But weirdly enough, there's something personal and satisfying about disconnecting from the world and doing hard things. My name is Ryan Lay, and I've spent the past 5 years of my life studying the highest performing entrepreneurs on the planet. And I've since influenced hundreds of entrepreneurs to work harder, live healthier, happier lives. My mission is simple: to make it effortless for you to work harder than you've ever worked in your life while getting jacked, sleeping more, and building a business that you love. So if you want to overcome loneliness as an entrepreneur and find people that are just like you, then hang out for a while because the games are about to begin. Joining the games from the bustling east coast of India, Vishnu Vardhan. Why are entrepreneurs so lonely?
When you kind of evolve from the people you actually think they are friends with, and when you actually grow up from them, you see like they're not the friends you want to hang out with. They want to settle so this is one like from my personal experience. Like I thought I had like multiple friends in my life. Like I in my school times I had zero friends to be honest. And then I moved to my college. I had like a couple of friends. I called them my friends. And we were just having like a normal ambition, like a guy who's from middle class family. His basic ambition is to get a job, to get like a nine to five, just like a regular 9 to 5, but some good amount of salary. And then a couple of years later, he get a promotion, and then he wants to get married, have some kids, eventually buy a car on loan. Of course, on loan, he can't afford that. And then he want to build a house for his family, same on house loan. And he wants to work till his back fucking broke, his brain red, he can't stand properly, he can't see anything. I think that was the whole thing in my life. Till my life, I thought this is my whole purpose of my life. I didn't want to get jacked. I didn't want to build a business. I didn't want to follow my passion. I thought I had no curiosity. I thought like even I couldn't even got a girlfriend. Like this is what my whole people around me was like. They were bitchless. They had ambitionless, kind of thing. And after I graduated, like after the end of my fourth year, I kind of moved away from them. I changed my whole city. Like I went from Trichy, I was living in Trichy, and then I moved to Bangalore, another city from my hometown. I moved there all by myself. I didn't have support. At the time, I realized like I was all by myself and I didn't have any support. And then I just did whatever I want. Like I just worked on my business. I just doing some random stuff out of my normal life. And I eventually I cut everybody off from my life. Like I stopped talking to my parents that much. And actually I didn't have friends. At the time I realized like how the gap between me and my friends are. When I grew up, or I thought I grew up, like I just wanted to do something better than just 9 to 5. I just don't want to settle for my 9 to 5. I don't want to settle for an average job. But after months, I started with them. Like I went for my graduation, and I went and I was surprised to see them. Like everybody has the same ambition. Like nothing changed. They were still playing video games. They were still talking about this 18 plus joke. They are not funny anymore. Like in my college days, it was funny, but not funny anymore. They still are talking about the girl. She didn't like them. And I thought, like, what the fuck is going on with them? Like, is this is this my friends, or is this why I hung up with them? This is what I went to. Are they gonna even support me if I do something else? And I realized like they're not my friends anymore. And actually went to this loneliest path. Like I had no support from my family. Like they actually don't want to do my business, to be honest. Like they want to continue my 9 to 5, because like here 9 to 5, like they don't know about entrepreneurship, they don't know about business, they just want their son to be happy, like 9 to 5, get 9 to 5. And everybody was like that. And I started completely avoiding them. At the time, I realized like this is what loneliness is like. You don't need people to follow you, support you, people to encourage you to whatever thing you want. So people who encourage you are your friends. And I had no friends. And eventually I moved up, like months passed. I found X. I started writing on X. After many of my previous business fails, I just started writing on X. And eventually I found like people who are like-minded people who are the same journey, who are the same vision, who are the same problems, just like I face. And I asked them how was their journey. They also said the same, like they had the friends who kind of bullied them for starting an online business. I had also met a guy who started YouTube for fun, and his college mates, like his college, started like mocking him, bullying him. They called him scammer. They started calling him scammer, and he eventually went to this loneliest park by himself, and he's on X. And the same with another guy. He had like he is fucking huge, he's fucking jacked. But one of his girlfriend asked, "Your legs are fucking weak. Your face looks so small." So the the entrepreneurship journey is obviously going to be lonelier than you think, unless until you are like having a group of like-minded people around you. And unfortunately, we don't have like if you're from middle class family, you don't have many entrepreneurship-minded people alongside with you who are able to support you. So it's going to be lonely. Nobody is going to. This is something Alex Ramosi said. So you're the only guy in the stadium, and you can hear the only clap which is coming from you. So you are the only guy who is going to support you from the dark ends, from whatever thing you're going on. Nobody's going to support you. So so this is what if I wanted to say to my old self, like my previous Vishnu, like a couple of years ago, I would say nobody cares if you win. Nobody cares if you lose. But if you care if you win, so win for yourself. At least when you look back, you'll be proud of something nobody has done. So entrepreneurship journey is obviously going to be lonely, but eventually you will find people like-minded people the level you are on. Until then, you can't fit, like you don't have this kind of mindset yet. At the same time, you don't want to be an average guy. So the price between this entrepreneurship is actually the loneliness, and it is inevitable.
Dude, you just basically spoke my life and just retold it to me because I came from the exact same situation essentially. Middle class family, nobody was an entrepreneur, everyone worked a 9 to 5. And whenever I started my early business models, which was like drop shipping, agency, and I started when I was like 14 or 15 years old, and I had no idea what I was doing. And I 100% see what you're saying because there is no support at all whenever you're from these kind of families. And I feel like a lot of the people that you come to find on X in particular are, they're not coming from a super rich family. They are coming from middle class. They don't have like the best situation. They are probably working a 9 to 5 at the same time and just starting this business on the side. And it's lonely. It really is. And the point that you made about friends and who your real friends are actually nobody because they are also focused on a completely different realm of just life, right? They're focused on girls. They're focused on video games. They're focused on getting a going to university, graduating, and getting a high paying job so that they can, get a car and they can, have a family. And it's just our focuses are so different, and that's what makes it lonely almost. How do we combat that by, in your words, building a cult with other entrepreneurs that actually share our mindsets and our ways of life?
So people are like entrepreneurs. Most people like they don't share their journey like on a platform. Like everybody say I went from a broke guy to make 10K per month, but they didn't say how they felt, like how they felt at the time, like how their life was, how was it people treated them, how they felt. Like nobody talks about that. So this is what I did. Like when I was started on X, I didn't just wanted to make money. I wanted to build a cult for myself. I wanted to build up people who actually follows me, who is loyal to me, who knows like what I am actually truly capable of, and who am I as a man, as a guy. So I just started telling my past struggles, like from my childhood, like how was my bullied, my own parents, my own people. Whenever people can relate to you, like not everybody is coming from a millionaire, just like you said. Like Onyx, everybody's not a millionaire. They're a millionaire, they won't be here. They'll be like doing some kind of business. So whenever you share your own story, whenever you share your own struggles, your pain points, your past experience, like it will initially like it will feel like nobody's hearing you. But I bet like people who had the same experience. For example, this is what like Hamza did, Goggins did. Like actually, Hamza saved my life. Like if without this guy, I wouldn't have been here. Hamza, like I bet like he is saving multiple guys, many number of guys. Um, like when like, we know Hamza, like he was a fucking degenerate. He was skinny guy. He got no attention from girls. No people didn't respected me. This was his whole story. And then now he's like, uh, he's making like I don't know how much he's making. He's making a fucking of money on school. Like everybody knows something. He's have a cult for himself. The same with David Goggins. Like whenever people start telling your stories, like what no matter which situation you are, like in whatever the phase in your life, whether you are just getting started or you're about to get started, you're already getting started. You just have to tell your story once in a while so people can relate to you, and this builds trust. So trust that everything is business as well as in real life. People will not like just come to you and say, I want to get help from you, I want to buy from you. If you don't build trust from them, people will actually see you're one of the other creator. Like many people on X or just random creators, if I'm not being funny to anyone, like many people, like they are not telling their why they are on X, like what happened to their past life, like how many business have they failed, like what led to them. So basically, like just by being opening about yourself on a platform, I think X is the perfect platform for people like me who don't want to speak on YouTube and all. So you just have to speak on X, like you just have to project yourself in a way people can relate to. So by building a cult is actually a good thing. People can support you. People will like-minded people will automatically want to connect with you. People like there are plenty of DMs I got from the people like your story is inspiring, man. I don't know like how many people are actually telling their stories, but your story is fucking inspiring to me. I want to be one of the guy like you. So you just have to tell your story in order to build a cult. So that's a basic point. Like building a cult actually saves you instead of like you going on networking with people saying like I like your post, like fake networking. People will automatically come to you if they have a story and like-minded guys.
Bolts. I love that branding. It's so genius. But it's such a great way to put it, right? Because when you think about what a cult means, it means like people that believe in something so almost delusionally together, and they're willing to go to the extremes to pursue that belief. And what you mentioned there was really, really key, I think, about telling your story because people tell their story, but it just sounds, it doesn't sound genuine and authentic. But when I was reading your posts, it I felt it, like in my soul, I felt what you were saying, like I knew, okay, this guy's life has been hard. He's been through shit, he's been in the trenches. And whenever I read your writing, I know like this guy's Vishnu, I know his story, I know what he's been through. And honestly, we've all been through pain. Like that's why we're here as entrepreneurs. We've had pain and problems that we've had to deal with in our lives. And that's why we're here. And all you have to like the first step to, I guess, not being lonely and finding human connection is by telling your story because that's what people fall in love with, right? People want to find people like them that they can relate to and join the cult with, right? And so the first step, I guess, if you want to think about this actionably, would be to tell your story. So in my case, I was also inspired by Hamza, I believe. Uh, I started drop
Oh,
shipping before I watched Hamza, but after my store flopped, like absolutely flopped, I poured in, the subscription for Shopify. I bought a little bit of inventory to play around with. I paid for some ads. So I put some money into this and I was like only 14 or 15 years old. It all failed, and then I found Hamza, and I think I don't think I would be an entrepreneur right now. I think I would genuinely be just a college student that had no purpose, that just wanted to get an education and then get a good paying job and live the average life. But it was
Average
Hamza
life.
binging his videos in my bed, sad, and just watching his videos about entrepreneurship and purpose and finding, the people that you actually care about. And yeah, that was that would be my story. And I feel like I don't share my story enough. And that's why right now I'm really documenting this whole podcast journey, like through X and through my solo podcast episodes. So I'm starting to get the idea of what it takes to build a cult. So it starts with story. It starts with what is your origin story? What pain did you go through? Write about that. Speak about that. And on X, you don't even need to really like talk about it. You can just write about it, and you've done that so well. So once you've kind of built that story, you've written that story. People know you for having that story. That's your brand. What's the next step on the cult building journey?
So building a story, like telling your origin story is actually important. But what's more important is like having an enemy to attack. So Andrew Tate, we all know who the enemy is. Like he's against Matrix, Hamza Degen people, Danko, 9 to 5. So everybody has a cult of like everybody has their origin story first. We all know where they came from, and we all know whom they're attacking. So you just gotta like have an enemy for yourself. So so this actually like people who supports you and people who hates you. This actually like segregates people. There will be no intermediate people like who kind of support you, who kind of likes you, but at the same time they don't like go on with your opinion. So having an enemy for yourself, like for example, if you ask me, like I hate batch writing, like batch writing actually kills your creativity. It doesn't makes you improve your writing at all. You're just like sitting on your desk for on Sunday or Saturday writing for an hour for a week on some shit post. I mean, your writing skills isn't going to be improved. Like you might think it is going to improve, but it actually won't improve. So, so people like, and I also hate platitudes, like fuck platitudes, man. Like I don't know why people are still posting it just for getting engaging farmings. So platitudes, like you just need to find an enemy for yourself to attack. So when you have an enemy, people will be seeing your posts, your ideas, and if they support you, they will become like your cult member. They will suggest you, like they will follow you, whatever thing you want them to follow, they will follow you. And if they hate them, they will not support you. Like this is what they say. Like having like one true fan is better than having 1,000 followers. So because the true fan will support you no matter what. But the 1,000 followers, they don't even care about like what you're saying. So you just need to find some kind of an enemy to attack and then just keep on attacking them.
But don't you think that if you're antagonizing certain popular beliefs around, like within an industry or within a market, that it divides you from other people? Like, wouldn't that make it more lonely? Like, what do you like? I feel like whenever you kind of have these really divisive opinions, so in your case, fuck platitudes. In Danko's case, nowhere 9 to 5. Um, Hormozy's case, what does he say? What does Hormozy's think?
What was saying?
He has an enemy against something. I think it's against words without substance. So undefined terms is like and like Hormozy's
Mm.
kind of enemy, I'd say. And so we all have these enemies. So I feel like it almost helps with the cult building whenever you define the things you disagree with, because then people respect you, and the people that actually agree are gonna, you know, you're gonna attract those kind of people to your life. So is that something that you think helps with the loneliness of entrepreneurs, or do you think there's some kind of other impact there?
Yeah, so this is like you're just telling your beliefs, like whatever thing you're believing. For example, like I did a post on 9 to 5, like how average 9 to 5 guy looks. Like in my office, I'm seeing everybody. A guy waking up at for example, the office timing is 4 o'clock, 4 to 2 shift. He's waking up at 3 o'clock. His eyes are fucking dark. He didn't had to sleep properly last night. He's just watching his phone. He has a fat fucking belly. He hasn't been gym in his entire life. He's eating shit foods. He has a car. Like, and the thing is, he also has money. He has a car. He has a wife. He has two kids. But when you look at him, like you can see, like he's not happy. Like his soul is not happy. He's just living a life. He's just living a life, not even living life. He's just going through going through the motions. So I just want to post on like what I'm seeing in my day-to-day life. I'm I to post on like many people supported it. Many people said this is actually true, ma'am. I've seen myself like I used to be this guy before I hopped on X. I've seen my friends doing the same on X, and there are other people who told me how can you say like this? How can you talk about this 9 to 5 guys? They're not fucking cheap. They're not like fucking losers. You're the fucking loser. They're not attacking me. So when you like start like segregating people, actually more like-minded people will want to connect with you, saying your idea is actually good, and this makes you kind of like avoiding loneliness because at the end of the day, you want someone to listen to you. So loneliness is not just having thousands of followers who just likes your comments. We just want to hear you. They want to hear you want to hear what they are trying to say, as well as they want to hear what you're saying. So loneliness is not just like you want like the people to hear from you. That's what loneliness is like. That's why people go for therapy. Like people who are lonely, they go for therapy so that they just talk for hours and people will listen. And basically, I don't know what they're doing, but this is what like you just need someone to hear your opinions, your thoughts, your emotions. So I think that's a perfect way of putting it, I guess.
People just want to be heard. They just want to be listened to. And I think that's loneliness and listening. Like all you need is someone to listen to you, and maybe it's not so lonely anymore. And
For real, man.
yeah, I kind of see that in a way with my podcast. It just gives me an excuse to just talk about whatever I want with amazing people like you and hear your
Mm,
opinion. It's so freeing because it's not a DM, it's not, you know, high pressure sales call situation. It's just a conversation with someone that's
mm.
across the world from me that has the same vision as me. Like that's amazing. It's genuinely amazing.
Yeah, when you look at it like the cult thing, even like Hamza didn't have like many of his friends when he was starting out. Like he was just alone in his room grinding, just improving himself. And now he's organizing this kind of like meetups with people around him. People around the globe are traveling him to meet with him. So loneliness is just a part you just have to go through. And then once you started like telling your stories and have some enemy and pick a platform to tell whatever thing you believe in, people actually find you as a friend, as a follower, as a cult member, and eventually they will support you no matter what you're doing.
Dude, I just want to say, I love what Hamza is doing with the meetups and getting like just going to different parts of the world and then putting the message out there that he's there, and then all these dudes that he's probably like saved some of their lives have are coming in there and just like meeting him, shaking his hand, doing whatever they do. I think one of his videos they had like a brawl in the middle of the park. They did some crazy stuff, and I absolutely love that idea of just creating moments like that for the people that are just like you, creating experiences, moments, events, and organizing things like that for other entrepreneurs and just being around each other just makes things less lonely because we're all grinding, we're all in the trenches most of the time, but having those moments where we can just come together and have a cult like experience is so amazing. All right, let me break it down actionably. So we start with origin story. What is your pain,
Mm.
right? What is the thing that has gotten you to where you are now? What drives you to show up every morning? We all have it. Maybe it's a little bit obscured by our limiting beliefs. We just don't want to see it. So uncover what that is. And I think the easiest way to do it is just journal. Just journal. Write whatever you feel like writing. Fill pages and pages and pages of your journal. Do this over a span of days, and you'll really start to realize, okay, like these are the things I care about. These are the things that I find painful. This is what happened in my past that wasn't ideal, that I didn't enjoy, and then meditate on it. Sit there. I mean, as Hamza would say, go stare at a wall and just reflect.
That works. Yeah. To do like easiest way to write is like write whatever thing you're going on. Like everybody's not like happy. Like whatever thing you're going on, what are the pain you're going on. For example, if you're not making money, write this down and answer yourself why you're not making money. What led you to this situation? What happened before? Like what have you tried before? Whom led you to this situation? So these are like kind of like storages you can just tie up and make like a good story content. That's actually makes it easier.
Mhm. Yeah, just think about the story that you want to tell almost, right? What is this epic pain that you went through? And then think about the person that you will become and then the story that you'll tell
Really.
other people, you know, like Hawaii says. So figure out your origin story and then find your people. Build a cult. Find the people like be divisive about it. Have opinions. Think about what really, really irritates you about things that people do. For me, when I think about whenever I was in high school, it was people flexing the fact that they got like 4 hours of sleep, or that they stayed up late last night studying, or that you know they care so much about academics. Like it always pissed me off, and so that would be a part of my brand, and that would be like who I surround myself with other people that agree with that idea. So you will divide yourself from other people, but you don't even want to be around those people anyway, so they won't be a part of your cult. So figure out your big problem, figure out the people that you want in your cult, attract them through writing online, by speaking about your ideas, and then the third step is kind of just like scaling it up and creating experiences and sharing experiences with one another, creating communities. So this doesn't need to be like a physical community. This could be a school community. This could be a Telegram group chat. I mean, even the more simple it is, but with the right people that are actively, wanting to contribute to the community, the better, right? You don't need a massive, massive cult. You just need a few people that believe in the same things, and honestly, the voice the calls we'll have with those people, the the messing around in the X comments with those people will all be it'll make the journey as an entrepreneur so much less lonely, and it's so beautiful to see that. And you just need to find your people, You just need to be authentic, tell your story, find your people, or as Chris Williams would say, find the others, and then just double down on that and just keep building the cult together.
That's it. That's just like you just have to find the people, right-minded people. You don't need like many people to listen to you, but you just need a few people who actually listens to what you're saying and they agrees with you. So this is what the whole cult thing is.
And then the people that don't agree with you, they can see the door. Tell me about David Goggins.
Even Goggins. I mean, this guy. So actually, like three people changed my life. To be honest, like if you read my story, like in my childhood, like 17 years, I mean 17 years, I committed suicide, and then I came back. Nothing changed. I still felt that hole in my heart. After years, I was just talking to one of my school friend about this girl, and he said, like, bro, you gotta be a man up. You gotta change. And that was the time he sent one of Hamza's videos to me, and I didn't watch. I thought it was cringe to watch. Another guy who was telling me to improve. What the fuck is wrong with him? And after weeks, I watched Hamza's video, and actually, Hamza got me to a point like I got disciplined. I got in good shape. I lost weight. I got into like gratitude journaling, something like that. But I couldn't move across this point. Like I want to do something in my life. I don't. I At the time I had no idea of business. I thought business was the scammy thing. I thought business is scam. And at the time I came across David Goggins' book, and this is the guy who changed me like my life forever. And I tried to be like him. I went to join Navy before X. I was my plan was to join Indian Navy. So I would work out like I don't think that was the like most disciplined time in my life. I took cold showers every day, no matter like in which time it was. I took cold shower every day. I worked out for 3 hours for 7 days in a week, including I hated running, but still I went for running. I was actually the most disciplined time, and I cut off all the contacts. Like I didn't went out. This guy changed my life, man. Like so, David Goggins can't hurt me. Like this book still got me. I think this is the reason I got to this point. Like initially, my niche was different on it. My niche was kind of like this self improvement discipline coach. But then, and I transformed. It was actually good, and I helped few people. I have helped a lot of people in community. But then I moved on. But then I changed. Like, what is? I felt like my writing was not up to the good. So I started learning more about writing, branding, as well as more on hooks, and then I fell into writing. So David Goggins, like even like last month, this guy like made me to run 21 kilometers. So this guy had a huge impact in my life. Like even in my wallpaper was David Goggins. In my laptop wallpaper David Goggins. So he is the man I respect the most in my life. Like not even my father. This is the guy I respect like more than anybody.
I have so much respect and just I'm in awe whenever I listen and read about the things that David Goggins does or has done. I mean, just thinking about him running 200 plus miles straight and waking up and
It's
running
giving me
every
chills already.
single day and doing that and going through Navy SEAL training with broken knees. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. And I can see why he inspires so many people. I can see why he has so much impact.
Yeah. What made me like related to him was like we both had like a similar childhood. Like he was not good in English, so was I. I was basically like I couldn't even speak English fluently till last couple of years. My English was fucked up, and his family, like his father abused him, and kind of my father abused him. I don't know. It's not like as extreme or like him, but still like I have this kind of fan. But my parents, like my friends, I didn't have friends. They bullied me. I was fat, just like him. I was like 92 kgs. I had fat. I had no purpose. Like I was just like him. I was just an uncommon guy. The guy like we all had this guy like in this classroom. There will be a guy who we don't respect him. Nobody hears from him. He's just sitting in the lonely last desk. Nobody even cares to talk with him. And even if he comes to sit with another guy, they will just say fuck off. So, so basically, he was this guy, and that is so. This one like cult thing. So his origin story. So this origin story kind of related me a lot. Like I actually felt what he has gone through, and but it was extreme. Like whatever thing he went through was extreme. So it kind of inspired me to become a guy like him. Obviously, I know I couldn't become like him, but still, I every day I'm trying my best to be the man I can possibly be.
Let's fucking go, dude. I love that. I love that. Let's dig a little bit into health and fitness for entrepreneurs because this is kind of a hot topic. You know, I feel like on the one hand, some entrepreneurs just say goodbye to health. Like they get no sleep, they have terrible diets. But then there's the other side that is hyper obsessed with getting enough sleep, keto, low carb, carnivore
Imagine their
diet,
life they call it.
working out for 17 hours a day. What end of the spectrum are you on, and which side do you think is best for an entrepreneur?
Actually, I was on the extreme side. When I hopped on X, I was just writing every day. Like I was writing platitudes, but still I was writing. And I used to engage on nights, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I was doing night shifts. At the time, I didn't do my work. I was engaging on X. And till like the last few weeks, I slept for like maybe 5 hours. So actually, there will be a time in your life you just have to like sacrifice your sleep. So, so I don't say there's an extreme for anybody. Like people who, if you really want to succeed in your life, we just gotta be obsessed. Like if till whatever thing you want, you just gotta obsess. For me, I want to be for me for before getting on X, I was like I told you like I was fat. I wanted to reduce weight. I just want to look fat. I just want to look kind of good. So I worked out like 3 times a day. So many people will call this impossible. I worked out for 3 times a day. Morning, I will go to gym. Afternoon, I will play football. I mean, I will play basketball. I'm not a good player. I will play basketball. And then I will do again, I will do workouts like abs. I will do skipping like 1,200, 1,600 skippings. I will do along with like 2 hour workout. So if you want to do something, you just gonna go beyond the limits. Like if you want an average results that be an average, sleep for like 12 hours, have a shit diet, like eat whatever the fuck you want. But if you actually want to change your life, you want to improve your life, you just gotta be go to extreme. But not to the extreme like sleeping for 2 to 3 hours. That's too much extreme. If you can't sustain this for like more than a week, if you're getting 2 hours, probably you'll get fucked up and you will probably quit. So just try to get speed five, I mean, at least minimum of 6 hours of sleep and just focus, focus, focus. Just keep on working. That's it, man. Like it depends upon people. Like people will say I just want to improve my life, but I also want to be an average guy. But that's not how it works. You just have to be go all in.
I will say one thing that
Mm.
sleep in particular, if you can get more than 6 hours of sleep every night and you consistently go to bed at the same time and try to wake up around the same time, every aspect of your life improves because your concentration, your focus improves, so your work improves. Your fitness is better because your body is recovering and you don't feel shit when you go work out the next day. It's higher echelon. And then whenever you think about just like your relationships with other people, like if you're doing sales calls, if you're doing client work, if you're helping clients out, or if you're just doing networking calls or anything like that, like when you're interacting with your coworkers at your 9 to 5, you're more energetic, you're more charismatic. You don't feel drained, when you're sleep deprived. So I think for the people that are kind of overworking themselves, which is most entrepreneurs, like, your diet's in the trash, your fitness kind of fell off, you're inconsistent. I think the one high leverage thing you can do is just get at least 6 hours of sleep. Because I've had people on the podcast that have told me that they get 3 hours of sleep regularly. And I'm just like,
Oh,
how?
fucks. Yeah.
And yeah, I think sleep is like the highest leverage health thing that you could do if you're just down bad with your health. Just sleep and then everything else kind of figure itself out.
No, man, it's not that hard to. All you gotta do is like just focus on your business, get 6 hours sleep, and just at least work out for a minimum of at least like 60 minutes or something, and eat some good protein. That's it. Like it's not that much hard, I guess. Like it's actually kind of easy. Just replace your whatever thing which you're eating with protein rich foods instead of like just staring at your screen for an hour. Just go hit the gym and just have a proper timing to go to bed and wake up at the same time. It's not that hard, and it is actually make you more productive. That's easy, man.
I
Many,
think the
many
hard
people just
part,
don't want to do that. Yeah, yeah.
I
Many
think the
people
hard,
just don't want to do that. I think
yeah,
and they will call this like impossible. I just want to increase my business. Actually, I think that's foolish.
yeah. I think what makes it impossible is the distractions,
Mm.
right? Why do people not get enough protein? It's because they're eating all of this junk, all of these carbs and sugars. That's why they're not getting their protein. Why do people not get enough sleep? It's not because they're working on their business all day. It's probably, when we really think about it, it's probably because they're on their phone right before they go to bed. They, I don't know, like their substances, or like they're just so caught up in the modern world and all the distractions that it's impossible for them to get enough sleep, because before they go to bed, they're scrolling on TikTok, and then when they wake up, they're scrolling on Instagram, and it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, how are you supposed to have time for yourself? And it makes it harder to sleep, and it's just stacking, stacking, stacking distractions, and just it makes your life so much more difficult whenever you're just not focused on one thing. And yeah, I like what you said. It's easy because it's simple, right? It's so simple to get enough protein. It's so simple to go to bed on time. It's just we need to eliminate the distractions as much as possible. So how have you
Ah,
kind of
man.
done that in your life?
I've also met few people on X. Like They are making like good amount of money. They are like 16, 18 or kids. They don't know much about their life. They say they don't meditate, they don't journal, they don't hit the gym, and they say, but they don't sleep for 6 hours minimum. But they are proud that they're still making money. Bro, what is it? Is this fucking life? I mean, just sitting on your laptop making money. I don't want this life. Like, who the I bet like in like maybe in like a couple of decades, they will feel like when they are going to doctor, the doctor will say, "What the fuck have you done with your life?" And at the time, they will realize their mental health will be fucked up, their physical will also be fucked up because they are not like going to gym as well as like I know many people are cheating on meditations. You can't even like you can't even meditate for 3 minutes a day, and you say you don't have time. Like, what the fuck, man?
Who was it? Naval Ravikant has a good way of putting meditation. You don't call it meditation. It's you
Mm.
sit there and do nothing. That's what meditation is,
Mm.
and breathe. That's. It doesn't take any effort to meditate. You just need to sit there and do nothing. And whenever you do it, you'll find it kind of boring at first, but eventually it'll actually feel pretty good to do it.
Mm.
And I think it was Charlie Morgan that said like self improvement's bullshit. Like it's a waste of time. It's a distraction. But and then he says you have to focus all in on business. But ask yourself, why are you doing the business in the first place? Right? Why are you doing the business in the first place? It's probably to make money, right? And why do you want to make money? It's so that you can have a better life in the future. But you can literally have that life right now.
Mm. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like I like to work hard, but at the same time, I take care of my health. I eat enough protein. I eat the gym. I also meditate. I also journal. I just don't. I mean, my mind is always thinking of business. Even right now, I'm thinking of new ideas to content to post. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean I'm not happy. Like, I'm happy as fuck, man. Even before getting on X, even before starting a business, I was happy and because I was taking care of my mental health. Many people just neglect it completely and just like grind, grind, grind. I mean, grinding is fine, but at the same time, you have to grind on your mental health too. You gotta like keep your mind calm, focused, productive. You gotta do some stuff.
What do you think has been like the one thing that
Mm.
has benefited your mental health the most?
Journaling. So sometimes I would journal just whatever happened in your day, but there are times I would journal for an hour, like before going to sleep, I would journal for an hour, like what have I done? What should I need to improve? What are the things that happened to me? I just recall all of the past from the beginning I started it and note it down. And journaling and meditation actually kind of helps to me.
Is there like a certain routine you have for your journaling? Because I feel like there's a lot of
Mm.
friction around journaling because you have to like, oh, I have to go get my journal. I have to pick up pen. I have to think about what I'm going to journal about. And then I have to write. And then I have to like date it. And then I have to remember to do it. So how do you journal and how do you make it so that it's like an easy habit to have in your life?
Now I would keep my notes like so near my bed whenever I sleep. Before going to sleep, I would just journal. So I keep my note next to me. So actually I don't think of what to journal like on content like what should we post. I won't think like that. Whatever comes in my mind. For example, if I did a mistake today, I will just write it down and I would also write it down what I should have improved and what how should I should have arrived. Just like that. Or if I got nothing in my mind, I will just write like I'm grateful for this. I feel like I'm grateful for even talking to you. I feel like I'm grateful to even see the sun the next day, things I'm happy about. And I also write down what needs to be done after I woke up. So getting aligned with like priorities, like for example, I have to write content, I have to get my clients to work done, I have to work on my product. So I would like have kind of a section like what other things happened to me today and what other things I have to do tomorrow. So I basically have two sections in my journal.
I'm grateful for you, bro. All right. Deep question. What has entrepreneurship
Hey,
taught you about yourself as a person?
so yeah, this is something like I have learned, have started doing business. So entrepreneurship is not something like doing whatever things works for you. Like you can right now you can start writing, like you can start being an email copywriter, but if you hate it, you can't do this. Like you can do this at long term. Maybe you can do it for like 6 months, 8 months, but after a while, you feel like it's burnt out. So I think entrepreneurship is about like following your passion. For me, I just don't know why. Even while writing platitudes, even while I got no results, I just liked writing on X. And so that is what lead me, like that is what like gave me like an upper hand in my business. So there are people who started alongside with me who said they want to be a ghostwriter, but they had no idea. They just one of the ghostwriters, they call themselves a ghostwriter, and they still have like a part of followers. Like they don't even have 500 followers, but they're still continuing, like hoping they will make money, hoping they will achieve something in my life and their life. But the problem is if they don't love it much enough, like if they don't love it enough, they can't like go harder on it. I went hard. Like I studied people's at the time. I when I joined, I didn't have mentor. I thought mentors was like a scammers. I just studied people's giveaway on night shifts while doing my night shifts, and I just get obsessed with it. Like you just have to get obsessed with whatever thing you love, and just and this also now I'll say so the work, whatever thing you love doesn't feel like a work to you, but for others, it feels like a work. So I think that is what entrepreneurship is, obviously. So it also taught me, like, I used to be a quitter before. Before this, I told you I tried to join Indian Navy. I quitted it because I thought it was not good for me. And later that I did like graphic design arts and tried to this mugs and all we have to like design. Eventually, I quit that because it was not for me. And then I found X, and I can honestly say X is for me. So you just have to like do things whatever you love. You just have to find something you love. Just gotta stick with it, and you don't even have to worry about quitting or anything. That's it, man. You just have to like go hard on whatever thing you love. That's what entrepreneurship is basically.
Vishnu, I love ending off every episode with one question. If you could
Hmm.
experience 1 minute of one moment of one memory in your life again, what moment would you choose to experience?
Mm. I go back to the day, the last minute, like I don't know what happened to me at the time. I can't remember what happened to me. I just know what I did, but I don't know how I felt. I just want to go back. I know it's kind of sounds like psychopath, but I just want to go there and like see what happened to me. Like, why did I made this much of cover? I just want to ask a few questions to myself.
All right, bro. This is the part where you get to plug everything that you've got, any programs that you got, any crazy plans you have in store. Let the world know.
So, so if you're watching this and you want to grow your eggs into like a cult like followers and monetize your brand and get some fucking clients, just hit me up on my DMs. And you know, my name is Panambita. And my future plans are I'm actually planning to move to another state in India. Like after a few while, like after maybe like 6 or 5 months, planning to move to another state and experience life. I just don't want to be this guy, like just grinding, grinding, grinding. I want to experience what life is by traveling. Yeah, man. So I think that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vishnu Vardhan. Dude, absolutely inspiring story. I relate to you so much, dude. I appreciate you for hopping on.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you for having me.